Hi guys, we're the Chili Teenagers, and today is January 9th, 2009, and today the topic will be drugs. What type of drugs there are, and why are they different from each other. And our topic one today will be legal drugs. Today, we're going to be talking about the legal drugs, and how they are effective to you, and how they're safe. Legal drugs are drugs that you're allowed to have. Some of these include Tylenol, Advil, ibuprofen, etc. Over-the-counter drugs are the same thing as legal drugs, but you can buy them at a pharmacist. Some most commonly used over-the-counter drugs are Alka-Seltzer, Dimetapp, and Thermoflu.
I know, I use Alka-Seltzer.
I do too.
I took Tylenol last night.
Even though these drugs are legal, they are still extremely dangerous. Hundreds of teens die every year from the abuse of legal drugs, and it's not okay, it's not cool, so please don't try to overdose yourself or abuse the drugs at all. But anyway, we're going to topic 2 now, which will be discussed by Jenna, and the topic 2 will be illegal drugs.
Okay, well, illegal drugs are drugs that you're not really allowed to have, like weed, crack, cocaine, ecstasy.
Drugs that are harmful to your body.
Yes, and that you buy like on the streets, and you don't buy them at a store, or you don't have a doctor prescribe them. Hopefully not.
Right.
And they can be a pill, a chemical, a liquid, or it can be parts of plants. And people use illegal drugs to get intoxicated, or otherwise known as high. And their behavior changes too. So that's how you can know when somebody's high or using drugs, because they act different, they get emotional, their pupils are dilated, and they just, most of the time they like to laugh a lot too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
They become a little loopy.
Yeah.
Just a little strange.
So if you know your friend is using drugs, you should probably say something. And drugs get into the body in 4 different ways: by mouth, injection, inhalants, or absorption through the membranes. And the most commonly abused illegal drug is marijuana, which is otherwise known as weed, and Haley's going to talk about that.
Okay, I'm Haley. Hey guys. Alright, marijuana, or, weed.
I've got a question about that.
Yeah.
Marijuana. Would you consider that a drug or a plant?
It's both. Well, it's a
made
plant.
from a plant.
Yeah. It's a drug made from a plant.
So, if you mashed up the leaves of a marijuana plant,
And you light it on fire, yeah.
so you just have to smash up the leaves and it becomes weed?
Well, you smash up the leaves and roll it up in a joint, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Alright, but that was a good question. Alright, marijuana is used in many different ways. The most common way is smoking it. Some people, they roll it up in a joint, which is just like a cigarette, and, they smoke that. And some people, they take like a cigar, and they take all the stuff out of the cigar, and they fill it with weed and roll it, and that's called a blunt. But, the short-term effects of marijuana are problems with the memory and the learning. If you're smoking marijuana, you have problems comprehending, and you have problems, like learning stuff. So, also, some short-term effects are distorted perception, difficulty thinking and solving problems. Impaired coordination. You have problems, like doing little things like reaching for a cup, stuff like that. And it increases your heart rate, a lot. Like Jenna said, some people, they use marijuana or different drugs to escape their problems. And there's other ways that you can escape your problems.
I got a question now.
Yeah.
What is distorted perception?
It's distorted perception.
Isn't it like where you can't see as well, like those blurry things in your eye?
It's like you think it's kind of like hallucination, but then it's not. Like it's like you see something, but it's like blur. Yeah, it's like you can't. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so marijuana is the most commonly used drug in the United States.
Illegal drug.
Illegal, yeah, thank you. Marijuana has different types of street names. People call it, many different names, and some of those names are gross pot, weed, Mary Jane, dope, different kinds of things. So be on the lookout for those because they're not cool. If somebody says, "Hey, you want to go smoke some dope?" Tell them no because that's not cool. So
You're too good for that.
Yeah.
So it can mess up your career path. If you want to be a drummer, a basketball player, a football player, anything.
Lawyers.
Marine biologists.
It messes up things. So guys, please just stay away from drugs. Find something else. Like I listen to music. I don't go on the weekends and do illegal drugs. I don't overdose on legal drugs. I take them properly. I don't abuse them, and you should too. I mean, because you don't want to ruin your life because you have family and friends out there that love you. So
Well, that's all we had today. Thanks for tuning in with the Totally Teenagers.